do them. Okay. In next lecture, we'll be discussing the numericals of first C. Till then, you have to do. Okay. Try them. Okay. We'll discuss these numericals in next lecture. Today, we'll be starting motion in one dimension. Okay. So in next lecture, we'll be discussing the numericals of first C. Okay. And go through the chapter if you have any doubt. Any doubt you have, you can
Sir, we have
ask.
to write question answer in notebook or not?
No, you don't have to write the question answers in notebook. In notebook, you have to write only the numericals, okay? And in numericals as well, no need of writing questions. Just solve them. Solutions you have to write in notebook, okay? But for question answers, find them in book, okay? Revise them. I'll be soon start asking you a few questions each day, okay? If you don't get it any particular question, ask me in class, okay? Go through them. You must go through them. That's important. And practice them as well. Okay? That's up to you. Numericals you have to write in notebook. Okay? So now we are discussing motion in one dimension. Okay? So chapter we are discussing motion in one dimension. Okay? So what do you mean by motion? Movement of a body. Some body is there, it is moving in one dimension. One dimension means only in a straight line. That is either this direction or this direction. Along a straight line, this direction or this direction. Yes.
In notebook we have to do only numericals.
Only numericals you have to do. Only numericals. Okay. Question answers. Find them.
And
Revise. First
first
and first C. First and first C. See, I will wait for the syllabus. Let the board release the syllabus. Okay. If no, then in July we'll start first B as well. Okay. I'm following last year's syllabus for time being. Okay. In that first B has been removed. Okay. If board doesn't provide the syllabus, then we will go with first B as well. Okay. Okay. So motion in one dimension, that is body moving in along a either this direction or this direction. That is along a straight line. Okay. In two dimension means this body is two dimensional or one dimensional. This body is two dimensional. So body moving along a curve like this or anywhere it can move. So this is two dimensional. And space it means three dimensional. This is three dimensional. So our chapter, our study will be limited to only one dimension. That is body moving in a straight line. That is either this direction or this direction only. That's only we'll be discussing. We won't be discussing two-dimensional or three-dimensional motion of a body. Okay. So before discussing motion in one dimension, few basics we have to discuss. Like physical quantities we have discussed in last chapter. Physical quantities, what are they? The quantities which can be measured, which we can measure. So, for example, mass, velocity, okay, speed, distance, displacement, time, length. They all were the physical. They all are the physical quantities, and these quantities we can measure. How to measure? We have already discussed. Okay. Now see here, these physical quantities they are divided into two categories, two groups. They are divided. Okay. One is the scalars or scalar quantities. Okay. And second is the vector, they're called as vectors or vector quantities. So what are the differences between scalar and vector quantities and why we have divided them into such two groups? What was the basics for the division of physical quantity into two groups? Okay. So what do you mean by scalars? The physical quantities which have only magnitude. So they have only magnitude. That is, these physical quantities are expressed by their magnitude only. By their magnitude only. Okay. The physical quantities which are expressed by their magnitude only or represented by their magnitude only, they are called as scalars or scalar quantities. Okay. There is no direction here. Okay. Whereas vector quantities, these are represented by magnitude and direction. And direction is required. Okay, you got the difference? Scalar quantities which are represented or expressed by their magnitude only, whereas vectors or vector quantities which are expressed by their magnitude as well as direction. Okay, now we take one example. For example, 5 kg salt or sugar. Sugar you take. Sugar we have taken 5 kg sugar. So what is the physical quantity here? Mass. And here this physical quantity has been expressed by its magnitude only, that is 5 kg. This physical quantity mass has been expressed by magnitude only. What is the magnitude? 5 kg. So in magnitude, how many parameters are there? One is the numerical value. Mainly there are two parameters, numerical value, and the second is unit. Unit is kg. So mainly we have two parameters. There are some scalars with how we do not need unit. For example, pi, epsilon, those are E and O. Okay, not epsilon, E. Okay, 5 kg, numerical value and unit. How numerical value, how many times this unit is contained? 5 times. That is 5 kg. This is clear? Okay. Now we take the vector. Vector we require direction, that is magnitude plus direction. Both are required. For example, you are moving. Okay. So either you will say, I have covered a distance of 5 kilometers. So distance will be scalar or vector. Distance is scalar because we are saying I have covered 5 kilometers. Direction we haven't specified, only the magnitude we have specified. Now if I say that I have covered 5 kilometers in east direction. So 5 kilometers due east. Okay. Now this is called as displacement. I have covered 5 kilometers in which direction? 5 in east direction. Here is the distance. Either I moved in a straight line or zigzag or anywhere I have moved, doesn't matter. Displacement 5 kilometer due east. That is, I always move towards east. East is this direction here, so I move towards east. Okay, understood? We take it like this: east, west, north, south. So I have moved towards east. How much? 5 kilometer due east. So I have the magnitude and direction, that is due east. Magnitude, numerical value, unit. Understood the difference? Scalars, no direction is required, only magnitude. Vectors, magnitude as well as direction is required. So few examples, give me few examples. Scalars, we have discussed mass, scalar, time. We do not say 5 minutes due east, 5 minutes up, 5 minutes down. It's time, length, density, etc. Okay, that is fine. Here displacement, okay, speed is there as well. We discussed that. Speed, distance. Okay, so in this chapter we'll be discussing distance, speed. Okay, and here we have the displacement, velocity. Okay, more are there, more vectors. What are there? Force, acceleration due to gravity, those all, moment of force, impulse, temperature gradient, they all are vectors. So here in this chapter we'll be discussing displacement and velocity first. Okay, we'll be discussing distance, then displacement, speed, velocity. These will be discussed. Then we'll move to acceleration. So these are vector, scalars and vector. Scalars, they are represented simply by, for example, mass. It will be represented by symbol m. Time t, speed v, distance s. Here displacement will be represented with s with an arrow. Arrow represents direction. Velocity, initial velocity or final velocity. Understood? F, force, this This is clear. So how to differentiate between the symbols? The symbols which do not have arrow over it, those are scalars, and which have arrow over it, those are vectors. This is one way to represent. Other way to represent vectors, make as bold. Okay, that we really use. Make U bold. V bold. Understood? But we'll be putting the arrow, and that way we'll be knowing. Okay. Now see here in vectors, magnitude is always positive. Magnitude is always positive. Direction can be positive or negative. How? For example, we are having a body. Okay. It is moving in this direction. Okay. This direction we are considering positive direction. It means the opposite direction will be negative direction. Okay. If I am applying force in this direction, okay. If I am applying force in this direction, in opposite direction, how I can represent? Minus F. If one force is applied and the same equal force applied in this opposite direction, so they will be represented like this. These are two equal but opposite forces. One force applied in this direction, other force opposite direction. So it will be represented like this. Here, this negative sign represents direction. Here, this negative sign represents direction. Okay. For example, if I say body is moving with 5 meters per second due east, this is velocity. Okay. Note 5 plus 5 meters per second. Here, this plus will represent direction, that is in this direction. If I say minus 5 meters per second, speed cannot be negative or velocity cannot be negative. This negative sign denotes it is moving in opposite direction. So negative sign in velocity or positive sign in velocity, it denotes direction. It denotes direction. Always remember this one. So how we can get the direction? This positive and negative sign denotes the direction. Since we are discussing one-dimensional motion only, a body can move in this direction or this direction. So this we are taking positive, this will become negative direction. So if it is moving 5 meters per second, it will be in positive direction. Minus 5 meters per second means the magnitude is same, but direction is opposite. Understood this one?
Yes, sir.
Okay, these were the basics. Now we will discuss rest and motion. What do we mean by rest and what do we mean by motion? Okay, here we will take one example. For example, you are sitting in a car. You are sitting in a car and car is moving. So are you at rest or in motion with respect to car? With respect to car, are you at rest or in motion?
We are in rest.
So rest
At
position is, it's a relative term. That is in what relation are we at rest or motion? In what relation? How we are related to the car? Okay. Okay. With respect to any tree outside, you are in motion or rest?
Motion.
Motion. Again, we are defining the relation with the tree. How we are related with tree, whether we are at rest or in motion. So this rest and motion are mainly relative terms in relation to what we are looking at. Okay. So how we can define rest? If the position of the object does not change with respect to its immediate surrounding. Okay. Mainly we used to define like this. Okay. If the position of the body is not changing with respect to its immediate surrounding, we usually say that body is at rest. We usually say like that. If a body's position, it is changing with respect to its immediate surrounding, with respect to its immediate surrounding or in relation to the immediate surrounding, then we say that body is in motion. The definition is clear. Okay, then okay, and here in all the mechanics, mainly we'll be taking body as a point object. Okay, the main reason is there the distance covered by the body is more as compared to size of the body. Distance covered by the body is always more. It is more. For example, it is moving, it is covering some distance in a particular interval of time. And this distance covered is large as compared to size of the body. So we can consider size of the body as point. As a point we can consider, and our calculations will become easy. Okay. So everybody will be considering as a point object. Okay, so that we don't have to take the length of the object into consideration. Okay, or else the solution will become more complex to solve. Okay, this convection we always take, that is everybody will be making it as a point object. We will consider that as a point object. Okay, now we have discussed, so the whole chapter is related to one dimensional motion. That is only one dimensional motion we will be discussing. Motion in one dimension. Okay. Okay, this one dimensional motion, it means straight line motion. Okay, straight line, either this direction or this direction. This is one dimensional motion. It is straight line motion, or it is also called as rectilinear motion. Recti, straight, linear, line, you can say linear. Rectilinear motion. It's a straight line motion. Okay, so our chapter will be limited to one dimensional motion, that is straight line motion or rectilinear motion. Okay, now how we can represent this rectilinear motion or straight line motion? So for example, you are having a pebble, or it's considered as a small stone. Okay, you are at some height and you drop this pebble. Okay, it will be coming down. So every second it will be covering some distance. First second it will be covering some distance. Second as well, it will be covering some distance. Third second as well, it will be covering some distance. So this is what? This is straight line motion. It's a straight line motion along one line. So this we can take the motion along the x-axis. Okay, along the x-axis we can take the motion. Okay, how the motion is there?
हर साल ही तो कट कर काट ही नहीं नेट तो कनेक्ट कर पहले केस ना नेट कनेक्ट कर
it's fine. This is fine. Okay, so with respect to time, our distance is changing. Okay, so distance means the position of the object. For example, at 0 second we consider how much is, what is the position? 0. Here we can take meter, here seconds. After 1 second, it has reached 5 meter from here. So what is the position now? 5. After 2 seconds, how much it has reached? 20. So it has reached from here 20. Okay. This is 1 second. In 2 seconds, this much. And in 3 seconds, how much it has reached? 45. And 4 seconds, it has reached 80. Understood this one? This is the position of the object from this initial position. 5 meters away, 20 meters away, 45 meters away, 80 meters away. This is clear? Okay. Now we are going to represent it on an axis. So for one dimensional motion, we always take x-axis. Okay, this is our x-axis. Now will be this x-axis will be position will be marking. This is 0. This will be, for example, this is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 maybe there. Okay, we have marked. Now it is at 0, x equal to 0 at t equal to 0 seconds. So it is 5 after 1 second. So it is 5 at t equal to 1 second. We can write like this. This much distance is covered in 1 second. T equal to 1 second. Okay, then at 20 is covered in t equal to 2 seconds. So this much distance is covered in 2 seconds, or 20 meters is the position of the object at 2 seconds. After 2 seconds, it is at 20 meters away from the initial position. Okay. Similarly, 3 seconds, it will be t equal to, okay, 45, it will be here. It is t equal to 3 seconds. So after 3 seconds, its position is how much? 45 meters away from the initial position. Okay, similarly, 80 meters we can mark. This is clear? This is clear? Any doubt you have? Go through it once. From the first page, go through it once. If you have any doubt, so first we discuss scalars, physical quantities. We divided into two groups, scalars and vectors. After that, we discussed what we have discussed. One-dimensional motion, how to represent one-dimensional motion, we have discussed. And we as well discussed how we define rest and motion. If you have any doubt, you can unmute yourself and ask. Yes, Gaurav, were you going to ask something? You have unmuted yourself.
No, sir.
Okay. So any doubt? Okay. Then we'll be discussing displacement and distance and displacement. Okay. We are starting to discuss distance and displacement. Okay. Here, someone I'm calling and it will help us. Okay. I'm calling someone and it will help us. So I'm calling a sheep. So this is, for example, our sheep. Okay. Now we have a huge field. The sheep will be grazing the grass. So wherever she finds or it finds the green grass, more the green grass, she will move there. Okay. So for example, it started from here. It moved here, then moved there, then here, then here, then here, then here, then here, then here. At last, she came here. Okay. So what is the distance traveled by the sheep? Distance traveled means the path, total path taken by the sheep. That will be the distance. That will be the total distance.
Yes, sir.
It is the length of the whole path will give us the distance. And distance is a scalar quantity, no direction required. So the length of the whole path covered will give us the distance. But displacement is what? It is the distance between the initial and the final position. Okay, that is the shortest distance. Which kind of distance? The shortest distance between, so initial position is this one. This is final position. So shortest distance between initial position and final position. That will give us the magnitude of displacement. And in which direction? In which direction? From initial position it is moving towards final position. In which direction? This direction. So this direction is the direction of the displacement. So displacement will be expressed. What is the length of this one? For example, it is 5 meters. Okay. So 5 meter and consider it as due east only. Okay. Little bit. Okay. We consider due east. Okay. So what is the displacement of the sheep? 5 meter due east. Whereas, for example, total distance covered is 110 meters. Okay. What you see? Displacement is only 5 meter due east. Direction is also there. Total distance covered is 110 meters. Okay, we go the definition given in your book on page number 28. See here, the total length of the path through which a body moves. Total length of the path through which the body moves. Okay, is called the distance traveled by it. Okay, now distance traveled by the body depends on the path taken. Distance depends on the path taken by the body. Okay. What about displacement? Does displacement depend on the path taken? Yes or no? Does displacement depends on path taken? No. Displacement does not depend on path taken. It depends on only on initial position and final position. That's all. In displacement, only initial position and final position are concerned. We are concerned with. The path taken doesn't matter in displacement. You can as well see it has covered 110 meters, but the displacement is only 5 meters. Yes or no? Displacement is only 5 meters. It depends only on the initial and final position. Okay. This is clear. Now little representation, their units, those all will be discussing, and their differences will be discussing. Definitions are clear, difference is clear, the main difference. Okay. So how we represent distance? Distance, if we represent with S. Displacement we represent with S, capital S with an arrow. What is the SI unit of distance? Meter. What is the SI unit of displacement? Meter. This is clear. CGS unit centimeter, centimeter. This is fine. Okay. Now, if we discuss the differences, okay, between distance and displacement, okay. So, distance, it depends on path. It always depends on path taken, what kind of path has been taken. Distance will depend on that path. Whereas displacement, it does not depend on path. It depends only on the initial and final position. We are not concerned how much path you have covered, it doesn't matter. Only the initial and final position we are concerned with. Okay. Next, you have seen the ship has covered this place. Okay. For example, ship has started from here, moved here. What is this? For example, this is 5 meters. In a straight line, it moved. What is the displacement? Distance 5 meters. What is the displacement? 5 meters, for example, due east. Here the displacement is same as distance. Yes or no? Okay. If I say like this, ship have moved like this. Okay. This distance is 10 meters. Distance is 10 meters, but displacement again is 5 meters. Displacement is less than the distance. So, distance, what about distance? It is either greater than or equal to displacement. Yes or no? Distance is always greater than or equal to displacement. Yes or no? When they are equal.
Sir.
Distance equal to displacement. When they are equal? When the body is moving in one direction only. When the particular direction it is moving only. Okay, it means from here it started, it is moving in the particular direction only. In one direction only it is moving. Then the distance will be same as displacement. This is clear. So displacement, distance is always greater than displacement or equal to displacement. This is fine. And when it is equal, when the body is moving in a particular direction. It is always moving in a particular direction. Then the distance will become equal to displacement. Okay. Next difference that we know, scalar quantity, vector quantity. Now, distance, it depends on the path taken. Whereas displacement, it does not depend on the path taken that we have discussed. Now, distance can be more than or equal to that we have discussed here. Displacement can be equal to or less than distance. Okay. Now see here. Last one is important, sixth one.
Time more.
Okay, 1 minute I'll take only. For example, I started from here and came back to the same position. What is the distance covered if radius is r in a circular mode? What is the distance covered? 2 pi r. Circumference. What is the displacement? I came back. 0. Displacement is 0. So, displacement can be 0 even if distance is not 0. This is clear? Displacement can be 0 even if distance is not 0. Okay? Okay, if distance is 0, Displacement will be,
0.
it will always be 0 because body haven't moved, haven't covered any distance. Okay. So these two examples, you go through them. Okay, one, if I'm throwing the stone, okay, it is going up, coming back down. So whatever distance is covered, let it be h. So total distance covered will be 2h, height is h, h plus h. But whereas displacement is what? 0. You can see as well, h in direction minus h in this direction, 0. It is coming back to the same initial position, 0. Okay, or moving in a circular motion, 0. Okay, so up to here, you go through them. If you got any doubt, do ask. It must be very thorough because next time we'll be discussing speed and velocity. So go through each and every line. If you don't understand any word, do ask. Okay, except you can leave these words like moment of force, impulse, weight, electric field, magnetic field, dipole moment. You won't understand these at time. Okay, these examples you can leave for time being. These will be taking as we move further into the other chapters. Okay, like momentum we'll be discussing. Okay, force we'll be discussing next chapter. Okay, so we end the class here. Any doubt you have, you can ask.
Thank you, sir.
No, sir. Thank you.